Hey, it's Mazzy. I am no longer buying used records. I'm tired of having smelly, scummy, moldy, dirty, just icky records come into my house, coming into this library and contaminating things. I don't want to be like a house full of smokers. I don't know about your generation, but my parents smoked, and if I had to sit in the car and in the house and inhale that stuff, man, that's killer shit. And when I bring those smelly, smutty, screwy, dirty, filthy, disgusting records in my house, my Koei Air Mega air purifier kicks in big time. It has a automatic cycle that it can tell that there's mold and dust and just the stuff that gets into you, and then you can't breathe and you cough and you have to, you know, get hooked up to an IR lung or something. And the way this administration is cutting our health care and health benefits, I got to be careful. So no more filthy, dirty, crappy records. All new, all new. Now, I went to a record store today. It's Sunday, and I went across town to a store I really like called Royal Records. They're in the Queen Anne's District of Seattle, right near Seattle Center, kind of near KEXP and the monorail and the Mopop Museum and the Space Needle in that area there. And way across town from me. That's why I don't go there that much. I mean, of course, on a nice Sunday, it's only about 20 minutes. But on normal days, it could be 45 minutes with traffic, and there's no direct route there. So I don't go there often. But what I like about it, now they do have a used section, and their used section is pretty well curated, and they don't seem to have a lot of scummy, dirty, filthy, disgusting records there, which is great. Which is ironic, because the two guys that started the record store some years ago used to work at Everyday Music, the store in Seattle. I think they only have like maybe two stores left, if that. But they were around the Pacific Northwest in Canada, Vancouver, and Bellingham, and Portland, and Seattle, and they would have like 20 copies of some scummy, disgusting record sitting in the bin for $3.60, and dog-eared, mouse-chewed edges and all that kind of, where the mice makes it up and makes a nest of it, and all of a sudden you open up your record box that you haven't opened in 10 years, and there's like a little baby mice dead because they've been sitting in that record box and they couldn't get out. That's depressing, isn't it? But anyway, I went to this store. They moved in the last year and a half, just a few doors up, and beautifully curated and nice custom bins. I think the father of one of the owners with them helped build these record bins. It's a nice store, and they have a lot of. I have a lot of new records. They do Record Store Day, and they have a lot of world music, international music. I mean, we're all the world. We are the world. And they have a great, Japanese city pop and ambient and electronic and African music and all the continents of the world. I just like going there. But I don't go there as much as I'd like to, but probably that's a good thing. I still have Easy Street and Silver Platters on my side of Earth here in Seattle, so there you go. YMO. This is a 1984, I believe. This is the Yellow Matter Orchestra. I only have a few of their things. I have more on CD, and little by little, I've been picking up some of their records. One of the pioneering electronic groups in the late 70s into the 80s and beyond. Of course, what a great trio of musicians. This is a Japanese edition. They keep issuing these records. It's just a standard black vinyl and with an insert. This is kind of the genesis for me, obviously, of Ryuichi Sakamoto and Hariyomi Sono and Yukihiro Takahashi, pioneers in electronic music. And I guarantee you've heard some of their work. And of course, Ryuichi Sakamoto just died in the past 5 years. Became just a pioneer in kind of neoclassical and experimental, and collaborated with everyone from Eno to David Bowie to so many artists. But I'm excited about this. This just crossover into the pop realm. Obviously, this isn't far out electronic music, experimental. And in fact, there's a single on here, Kimi ni Muni Kyun. and that was a hit in Japan. So Yellow Matter Orchestra, YMO, and I'm always excited to bring this kind of stuff in the house. Next is a record that I didn't know this edition existed, but I'm a big fan of Charlie Magura. He died many years ago. He was an Israeli kind of grungy, psychedelic, folky artist, singer, guitarist, but had a very strong reverb-drenched sound. The Numero Group has been putting out his records. I have a feeling this is a comp that I have some tracks on, but I'm all in on their releases. Numero Group, of course, does a great series of issues of certain artists they latch onto. And if you haven't heard his record, the one record in the black and white cover, he's sitting with his guitar. Pick it up. I forgot the name right now. It comes back in print every year or two or something. If it's out of print, seek it out. But it's a cool kind of just semi-psychedelic in a way, but it's just so ambient and so it seemingly lo-fi, but a beautiful, beautiful artist and a beautiful package. And this is called Charlie Magura and the Bet Shean Valley Hillbillies. That's obviously from Hebrew, the Bet Shean. The End of Teenage is the name of this. Numero Group, of course, that was a Chicago-based label, does some incredible stuff. So I'm so excited about picking that record up. This is one of those days I just looked in the new release bin, and they have, which I appreciate, they have a section of all the employees, or the 4, 5, 6 employees, whatever, their recommendations. And I like, obviously if you're sitting talking to people working record stores, they'll recommend things based on your taste. But I went through the bins, and 2 of these records I think I bought based on employee suggestions. The next one is one of those, but I know this record from 1968, one of the great psychedelic sunshine pop masterpieces, The Millennium Begin. Now, this was the one-off record put out on Columbia Records in 1968. Total sunshine pop, psychedelic. Studio musicians Kurt Bottcher was sort of the main protagonist of this and worked on a lot of the sunshine pop that you know. If you have any kind of comps of sunshine pop of the late 1960s, mid to late 60s, you have his work. Fantastic record. Keith Olsen works on this. I think he co-produced it maybe. And he was a producer that worked on the 1975 self-titled Fleetwood Mac when they first had Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. But this is a cool record. And the originals of this go for hundreds of dollars. And it's hard to find, and they're usually dog-eared or, I don't know why Columbia has never on their own reissued this. This is a music on vinyl. They put it out every couple of years. It goes out of print, and then it's gone, and then they press another copy, another few copies. This says this is a limited edition of 1,000 numbered copies on yellow and orange marble vinyl, 180-degree audio file. So what'll happen is this will sell out, and then in 2 or 3 years, they'll do it again on a different color vinyl. I don't care. To me, that's what an edition is. I've talked about that on my channel. An edition is just that, an edition. It doesn't mean it's the final thing. But why doesn't Columbia do it? Like, I don't really care. Orange is nice, though. Isn't orange nice? Ooh. But I don't have this record on vinyl. I have the CD that has the expanded with all the project these folks worked on. It's got this insert here and tells you kind of all the thankful people that helped them initially on this. I love this. Music on vinyl does great stuff, and they seem to do a lot of Sony things. They have like an in with Sony, so I think they do excellent work. I don't buy the records all the time, but they're one of those labels that put out really cool stuff when they put it out. Yes, there's the standard stuff they put out. Really great pressings and good sounding records. So I know this record well. I didn't know it was coming out again. It was in that bin someone suggested, because I probably would have never gone into the Millennium Begin, or Millennium, the Millennium in the M section looking for this, because it wasn't top of my mind, but it was in the new reissues and releases, and employee suggestions, and that's what makes it. That's what's great about it. Another one that's there. This came out years ago. I think 2017. This edition, and this is Lee Hazelwood 40. This is an album he did just as he was about to turn 40 in 1969. Of course, Lee Hazelwood, if you know what he's about and you kind of get it, you get it. That low kind of cowboy, gnarly voice, which is kind of cool. A great writer and producer in his own right, of course, produced and wrote These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra and Some Velvet Morning. All those great Nancy Sinatra albums they collaborated on. And his records, I didn't know any of his records back in the day. And over the last, 10, 15 years, Light in the Attic has been putting him out. And I pick him up when I see him. I don't have them all. I think I have 5 maybe. Years ago, they did a box and a big CD box, but I kind of missed the boat on that stuff. But this record for him is sort of like a midlife crisis. He's about to turn 40 in 1969, so he goes to England. He relinquishes his production duties, and he gets the expatriate Shel Talmy to produce. Now, Shel produced all those great early Kinks records, some of the Who records, bands like The Creation. Had a really great knack and produced some freaking great records. And he pretty much pulled the material for this. Now, I haven't heard this yet. I've heard a couple of tracks I kind of listened to, but it was a very good year, kind of schmaltzy. But I'm looking forward to this. Also, it looks like there's a great version. Well, we'll see if it's a great version of Let's Burn Down the Cornfield, a wonderful song written by Randy Newman. For Once in My Life, that over-the-top schmaltzy crooner-type song. So this could be really good. Again, new, not smelly, not moldy, but something that's going to be added to my collection of really well-smelling records. The one new record I bought, and I want to say a new artist because I think probably 75% or 80% of the people that watch this had never heard of this. And I have showcased, not featured them, but I have showed several records by this sister duo that's been around about 20 years now. And it's a group that the Archivist turned me on to about almost 20 years ago now, and that's Cocorossi. Cocorossi are 2 sisters. One grew up in Paris, I believe, in Europe. Paris is in Europe. They were separated at a young age, and the other one in America. One of the sisters studied opera and has this great heroic opera voice. And I have all their records and compact discs. And this is a brand new album called Little Death Wishes. I didn't know they were still putting records out. I think the last one came out right before the pandemic, which is a more upbeat sort of dancey record, but it's great. They have this great aura about them physically when they perform, visually, and of course the sound of the music. It's the music that really makes it. But it's a little bit of a freak folk thing, electronic thing, a little bit of a hip hop with those operatic voices, experimental, moody. They've collaborated with a bunch of other artists over the years, but their records are really cool. Obviously, some work better than others, like with any artist. But I just think they're incredible. And this was like a $24 record. And for a new record by an artist, new to many people here, but a new record, I don't have to smell up my house and have that air purifier kick in because all those little mole pores are going around me and going into my eyes and my ears and my nose and make it really disgusting here. Instead, I can just sit back, have a flat white or a cappuccino, or pour a glass of wine or shake a martini and listen to some really beautiful, eerie music in this clean air around me. I'm really pushing it, aren't I? I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to put this on first. I don't know it. I didn't even audition it because certain artists you kind of connect with, even though I don't like everything they do, maybe. Well, I don't dislike anything, but obviously on some of their albums, there's tracks I like more than other. But I just think they're the coolest. And that's, when you grab onto something, and hopefully you'll go listen. Whether you listen to this Cocorossi, listen to some of their music, because I think a certain segment of you will get it. And other people won't, and that's fine. That's what music's about. But That's it. No more used records coming in this house. Uh, I don't want to have to put everything every single day through the Humming Guru to get those mold spores out of the way into the tank and then out of my house. Don't like it. Thanks for watching. Mazzy loves you.